Good morning. Hi, this is Gary Lee Stanley. How are you doing today? Yay! We're going to talk about sales today, about something that's dear to my heart, and we're going to talk about goals. This is me and going over the Buckman Bridge. Look what I get to see every day. It's the 7th of December in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Gary Lee Stanley. We're going to talk about goal setting and why it's so important for a salesperson to set goals. First off, it's really important to know if you are an individual who has the capability to be successful. Well, if you do, and if you are that person and you want to have your goals and all your things achieved in your life, and you want to be prosperous and you want to be successful in whatever endeavor you're into, especially in sales, you need to set what they call goals. There are many people who've written about goals, but I'm a real salesperson, guys. I work in the real world. I'm a real working man. Look at all the traffic I got to deal with every day. But I deal with it. And the successful things that we talk about is goal setting. Now, I think back when I was a young person and there were things that I wanted to achieve. I was a wrestler. I ran cross country when I was in high school. And the coaches had goals, and I had goals that I wanted to achieve. I wanted to be successful as a wrestler, so I lost all the weight. I was put myself through a major regiment of training, and it was just really, really cool. But if you didn't set a goal to be able to make weight at the end of the week when you had to go, you wouldn't have made it. You had to set that goal to lose that weight. Now, a lot of time people set goals in many different aspects. But for today's conversation, we're going to talk about salespeople, why salespeople need to set goals. Well, imagine you have a country and there is no direction. Okay, that sounds terrible. You got nothing going on and you don't know what to do. Well, if you got a government that sets goals and works for the people and sets these goals to do things, maybe make infrastructure better, okay? Because right now is the best time to be a salesperson because things are just really turning around right now. It's amazing, the things that are going on. So if you're a goal setter and if this is important to you, succeeding that is, first thing you need to do is write down the most important thing that's important to you that you would like to achieve. Okay? And you may say, I don't want to write that down. I could never make that. I could never do that. Well, if you say that, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're not. But if you write something down that you really, really believe in, and you look at it, and I'm talking about not every single day, but you look at it regularly, this will give you the capability to work in a direction. Wow, what a concept, going forward. And by setting small goals, like on a daily basis, maybe say for instance, you have to talk to quite a few people. And after you've talked to so many people, you set your goal. You've met your goal. Say, for instance, you know that you need to talk to at least 30, 40, 50 people and to get just one or two people to talk to you because, you're calling on people during the day while people are working, and you set your goals accordingly. You call as many people as you possibly can. That is if you call over the phone. If you work in an industry where people come to you, it's more around the time frame between generally 9 and 5. In the real world sales. So if you're setting goals like you should do on a daily basis, like I do, I set goals. I set first thing I want to do is I want to go in and after I've already studied already. I've been studying since probably 4:30 this morning about how to be creative and how to be a good salesman. That's what a real salesman does, is they dedicate themselves to learning the craft, and that's what I'm doing. So if you set your goal like I did, my goal today is to do this video, talk to at least no less than 5 to 8 people after I've called at least 50 people or 60, depending on the flow of the call, because you do leave messages for people. on their phones, so that way they can possibly call you back. You just never know. You work your sales. And setting goals for myself, the next process is just to get through the day and make sure that I've pulled enough credit and make sure I've looked at enough people and try to work and close as many deals as I possibly can. That's what salespeople do. Now, if you don't have a plan, if you don't set a goal, if you don't know your direction, I'm sorry to tell you, you're just not going to make that much money, and you're not going to be able to be successful as a salesperson, because salespeople need to be structured. They need to make money. And if you're running your own side business, making sales, and you're selling products, you need to be able to be setting these goals so that you can be a company that will grow. And it makes sense to just remember, as a salesperson, if you set your goals, you set it and write it down on paper, mind you. Just remember, write this stuff down, and if you check it off every time you've done it. I've got over 150 goals that I had over a 5-year period, and I reached almost every single one of those goals. And now I'm working on a new list of goals that I want to set, so that way I can pay off and do things in my own life, because I am a real salesperson. Just remember, your goals, the things that you set in your life, are going to make what your life is going to be about. And you can do this, really. Anybody can set a goal. It's like, you don't even have to be a salesperson to want to set this goal. So this conversation is for everybody. But I just plan. This is what I do. And people say, if you plan and you set your goals, you don't really have to worry more about the money, because if you set your plan and you talk to the people that you need to talk to, you're going to be successful, because you've set that goal and you're not just what they call haphazardly just going at it. And a real salesperson doesn't go at it like that. We want to be successful, don't we, guys? Well, thank you for giving me an opportunity to come into your car or your home or whatever. I'm in my office. I'm always on the road. I love it. I get paid to help people, and they pay me to sell things, and it's amazing. So thank you for this day, and I'm going to say I'll talk to you soon. This is Gary Lee Stanley, and we just talked about how come salespeople need to set goals. Have a blessed day. Merry almost Christmas. Wow, that was cool, man. I really enjoyed that. Those guys are awesome. Sell something today.